Good day everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video I'm going to be explaining what is covariance and correlation analysis using Excel. In my past couple of videos I made videos on simple linear regression and multiple regression. If you have not seen those, I'll leave a link in the description, you can take a look at that as well. The reason I made those videos on simple linear regression was to send a message that it is so easy to get started on your machine learning journey. There's a lot of apprehension and a lot of things we hear about, a lot of buzzwords about machine learning, but your simple linear regression model in Excel was nothing but your first machine learning model that you have built. Of course, for building more complex models that model larger data and working with big data, you will definitely want to move into different technologies like R or Python. I've made a lot of videos on those as well. But you can get started on your machine learning journey in a very simple manner, even if you are just an Excel analyst. So I wanted to introduce everyone to the machine learning concepts which can be open for everyone. You need not be bogged down by the complex words and terms. So in today's video, let's take a look at correlation analysis. But before we dive right into it, do not forget to subscribe to my channel for the latest of data analysis across different technologies. So what is covariance and correlation analysis? So covariance is basically what is the relationship between two variables. So you may ask why this is important. In the last video we had taken the miles per gallon and we wanted to predict the miles per gallon, which was our target variable, from the predictor variable, which was the displacement. But to build our simple linear regression model, we must have some assumptions, or we must know that is it worth building the model. And it's only worth building a linear regression model if there's a linear relationship between the predictor and the target variable. So to examine that, we first need to explore our data and understand the relationship between the two variables. So let us take a look at that. So I'm going to go to the data tab. I'm going to click on the data analysis toolpack, and now let us click on covariance. Click OK. I'm going to select these two columns. So let me select them. Okay, and let's click the labels in the first row and let's give an output range. So I'm going to select this cell so that we can see it in the same sheet and click on OK. So here you can see this is the covariance of the two variables. So the covariance depicts the relationship between the two variables. So we can see between between miles per gallon and displacement, there's a negative correlation or covariance. Okay, so the reason why this is important, because the covariance shows the direction of the relationship, but by seeing this number we do not get any idea on the strength of the relationship. What I mean is how strongly are these two variables interrelated with each other. All we know from this number is that miles per gallon and displacement, there's an inverse correlation, but we do not know if they're strongly correlated or dependent on each other or not. For measuring the strength of the relationship between two variables, we use something called as correlation analysis. So let's take a look at that as well. So now again I'm going to go to the data analysis toolpack. This time we'll select on correlation, click on OK, and let's select these two columns again and give an output cell range. Okay, let's click this and click on OK. Now we see we have a nice correlation analysis table, but let us compare miles per gallon with displacement now. So we can see first there's a negative sign, so this depicts there's an inverse or a negative correlation, and 0.8475 represents it's a very strong inverse correlation because it is more closer to -1. So if the correlation is closer to -1, it represents a strong inverse correlation, and if the number is closer to +1, it represents a strong positive correlation. So now we know, yes, from this we can analyze these two. From the covariance we got to know the direction of the relationship, and from the correlation analysis we got to know the direction as well as the strength of the relationship. So yes, miles per gallon and displacements are definitely inversely correlated to each other. So it is good to build a simple linear regression model. It is worth investing our time to model this using a simple linear regression model, which we saw in the previous video. You can take a look at that as well. Now in this video, let us see this relationship using a scatter plot. So we have already seen this, but I want to show a couple of more features and tricks here. So I click on a blank scatter plot. Let me go to the select data option. I'll add. Okay, now here in the series, in the Y option, I'm going to select the target variable Okay, let me select this, and the X, I'm going to select the predictor variable. Okay, and click on OK. Click on OK. Okay. Now we can see, let me remove the grid lines. I don't like the grid lines, and let us give the axis so that we can visually understand this. This represents the displacement, the x-axis, and the y-axis represents the MPG. So we can see whatever we had deducted from the correlation analysis while exploring our data, we found there's a strong inverse, and this can be visually represented now, a strong inverse correlationship. As the displacement increases, the miles per gallon decreases. So you get less mileage as the displacement decreases. And yes, you can model this data as we did earlier. So let's see a trend line. So you can see there's a strong linear correlation, and you can build a linear model to fit the data. Let us see one more thing also as well. Okay, and then we will see how this data is related to a simple linear regression model. So I'm going to click on more options, and I'm going to select display equation on the chart and display the R-squared value of the chart. Okay, now let us go back to our simple linear regression model which we explored in the previous video. Now you can see, let us see how these values are related. The correlation analysis depicts nothing but something what you see here as the multiple R. As I made a video on understanding multiple R, R squared and adjusted R squared, do take a look at that if you have missed it. So you can see the correlation analysis is nothing but the multiple R in your simple linear regression model statistics, but only thing, it doesn't show the direction of the relationship. So in the correlation analysis you get it's an inverse correlation, and you can see here on the chart the R squared is nothing but the R squared value here 0.718. That means 70.8% of the variance or the variability in the miles per gallon can be explained by the displacement or the predictor variable. So it's quite a good model. And here y is nothing but your model. This is actually a model. Y is equal to mx plus b is the formula for a linear model. So here y is equal to, this is your slope, x plus the y-intercept. And you can see here these values are here 29.5 is a y-intercept, and the slope for the displacement or the coefficient minus 0.041. And you can see that is depicted here. So I hope you have understood the importance of correlation and covariance analysis and why it is important to actually understand your data before you start building models. I created the first video of the model because I just wanted to explain that no need to get bogged down by the technical words. You can also begin your machine learning journey with a simple tool as Excel as well, and then you can move on for building more complex models in Python or R. But you can even start your modeling with journey with Excel even if you do not know these languages. So that's why I built those videos. And then today I wanted to explain more on correlation and covariance analysis. I'll be making videos also on how we actually talk about data in R and Python. So how do we talk or how do we represent our data? So stay tuned because it's very important to understand the data. So today's video I wanted to show that writing the code for creating a model in a language like Python or doing it in Excel is very simple, but actually understanding the mathematics behind it as to which model you need, why is a model required, and understanding the data is more important than actually building a model. Building a model is quite simple, but building the right model is the key in your machine learning journey. I hope you enjoyed this video. Do stay tuned for the latest of data analysis across different technologies. Not forget to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this video, leave a comment and a like on the video. Thank you.